Welcome back. You're watching India Market Open. And at the start today and also over the past few trading sessions, we've been talking to you about very large deals that have been taking place. I'm not only talking about primary market issuances, we're also talking about selling of stake by promoters. In fact, the amount of supply that has come into the market over the course of the last couple of months, that is May and June, has been very substantial. How substantial? And how much of this is on account of promoter sales? We've got Somit joining in to tell you about this, and we'll talk about some of these large deals as well. Somit?
Well, yes, if you look at the equity supply that has been coming into the market, it's huge. In fact, it is more than the average that we had seen in the last calendar year. Now, if you look at the first half of the previous calendar year, that is 2024, around $5.3 billion of monthly equity supply used to come into the market. This increased to 7.3. But in the last couple of months, if you look at the combined that has happened in May and June, it stands at nearly 17.4, which means that the average stands at around 8.7. Now, the $17.4 billion of equity that has come into the market means around 1,48,000 crore rupees of equity supply has come into the market. So who are these guys who are selling or raising fund here? Now, firstly, the promoter exit that has increased to 51% in the last couple of months from 21% that we had seen in the previous financial year. QIPs and FPO account for nearly 7% from 29% that we had seen in the previous year. IPO number stands at 19% from 31%. Private equity exit stands at 23%, increased from 18% last year, while there are no InvITs and REITs at least in the May and June. But this promoter exit, 51%, more than 75,000 crore is raised by promoter exit in May and June alone. Now, which are the big promoter stake sales that we had seen? First three, Bharti Airtel, 12,900 crore, Indigo, where Rakesh Gangwal sold close to 10,400 crores of shares, and Vishal Megamart, where the promoter has sold close to 10,200. So these three deals alone accounts for nearly 33 to 34,000 crore of equity that has come into the market in the last couple of months. Then there is Bajaj Finserv, where the promoter sold close to 5,800 crore rupees, and in Dixon Tech, the promoter sold close to 2,200 crore rupees of equity. Now, this range that we are seeing of increased equity supply is expected to continue even going forward. In fact, Jefferies is expecting that the monthly run rate would be anywhere between 8 to 10 billion even going forward. So which are the large IPOs or promoter exit that Jefferies is expecting? In the telecom sector, they're expecting large IPO and the promoter exit. This promoter exit could be related to Bharti Airtel, where Singtel could sell another stake as well going forward, and that amount close to around 15 to 20 billion. Then there is large listing in capital market that is expected, which could be around 10 to 12 billion, followed by internet stocks. E-com IPOs are expected. Private equity exits are expected, which could again be around 10 to 12 billion. Then there could be PSU banks and small banks where there could be fundraise, and that could amount to around 6 to 8 billion. Likely fresh listings are expected in NBFCs. Some private equity exits are also expected, which could be around 4 to 5. In IT, some private equity exits are expecting, and small IPOs are also expected over the next 8 to 10 months, which could be around 3 to 4. Then there is large foreign promoter sell down that is expected in consumer discretionary and staple companies, which could be around 3 to 4 billion US. And then there could be PSU stake sale, largely this is excluding the IDBI, but they're expecting some stake sale to happen in defense and railway stocks, which could amount to around 3 billion US. So in total, they're expecting around 60 to 80 billion US of equity supply to come in the next for the remaining part of the financial year FY26. So average run rate could be anywhere between 8 to 10 billion dollars as per Jefferies. And they're also highlighting the fact that the number of DRHPs filed with SEBI has also been continuously increasing. In fact, in FY25, if you look at the DRHPs that have been filed by SEBI stands at around 211, and despite this, another fresh 56 DRHPs have been filed by SEBI, which means that the IPO market or the primary market could also continue to remain buzzing over the remaining part of this financial year, which is the next 9 months of FY26.
So if we are seeing the first quarter already with just 56 DRHPs filed, and I think over this last couple of days, there was news of at least 3, including Binny Bansal's, food starter. Thank you for that, Somit. Very interesting details there. So what happens with all of this supply is the question.